As Dr. Al-Asti mentioned, my name is Amir'abbaas Fakhravar, and I'm talking too much most of the time because I have a good excuse because I was in jail for a long time, and specifically I spent more than 8 months in solitary confinement. I couldn't talk to anybody, and because of that, when I came out, I decided to talk as much as possible until they don't let me to talk.
It means you have many things to say. It's not bad.
Oh, okay. Okay, but don't trust the people who spend a lot of time in jail because they have a lot of things to say, but okay, we are going to talk about the role of democracy in drafting a new constitution. Specifically, I want to talk about the Middle East. And you can see most of these countries, they are causing problems for the world right now. And on the top of the list, you can call Iranians on the top of the list, but definitely it's not Iranian people. Let's say the country was attacked by a group of fanatic mullahs, small group of fanatic mullahs. Do you know what's mullah? Yeah, I know, but for those who don't know what's mullah, I want to start from the last part. And okay, these are the mullahs. Some type of animals, they are almost dead, but they somehow, something happened, we don't know exactly what, but these people could come to power in Iran. And then they started to govern the country, and they have a god called the Supreme Leader who is using the projector in his car and some mirrors at the top of the car to just have more light and tell the people, look, my light is coming from the God, and I'm the God, and he has the power of the God. But we started from the last part, and about the Middle East, after spending a lot of time and energy to do research and realize what's the exact problem of Middle East, I realized the exact problem of the Middle Eastern countries is they don't know what the hell means law. And they don't know what is the role of the Constitution and how Constitution can help them. And the country like my country, Iran, we know what's Constitution. We had the Constitution, the first Constitution in an entire area, even before Russia. We had our Constitution in 1906. We had the constitutional monarchy revolution. And then we had the first constitution, but still the people, they didn't know the value of the constitution. You, the Americans, you are so lucky to have some peoples, most of them from this area, from Virginia, if you know the Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, who became to be my role model. When I was a teenager and I read for the first time his biography, and I said, oh my God, I love this guy. And my dream became to be the Persian version of Thomas Jefferson, if it's possible. And I said, okay, it sounds good. Well, why not? Maybe it will happen. And then I started to read more about the United States Constitution, and the founding fathers, they were so smart. 230 some years ago, they were thinking about the role of Constitution, and their first and last thought was to protect the people from the government. That was the exact role of the Constitution. And when you are looking at the United States Constitution, you can see it's a lot of borders and limitation for the government to make sure government will not invade people's privacy. And government will be as small as possible. I don't know if it's working now, but it was the goal of the founding fathers in this country. And then when you are looking at the Middle Eastern countries, because some of them, they have constitution. Definitely Iraq, under the Saddam Hussein, the dictator, the cruel dictator, Iraq had the constitution. Syria, with the Bashar Assad, has the constitution, which he is killing more than, how much? 130,000 of his own people with the chemical weapons. And I'm glad we have the super strong red line from the US government to don't let him to kill his people anymore. Oh, I said that? Oh, okay, just let's forget about that. And then all these countries, when you are looking, you can see these countries, they have the constitution. For your information, even those almost dead people, the mullahs in Iran, they have the constitution too. It's called Islamic Republic of Iran's constitution. But their constitution is so funny. But let's first specifically, I really like the Montesquieu, and he mentioned in his book the spirit of the law, and he mentioned for the first time at the one book that what's exact, and he explained it what's exactly the separation of power, and he painted three branches of the government: the executive branch, legislative branch, and judiciary system, which all the countries in Middle East, they have all of these branches. When you are from outside of the country, from Western democracies, you are looking at them, you are saying, wow, Iran has a president, the people are voting for that, okay, it's executive branch. Iran has a parliament, the people are voting for the parliament, that's the legislative branch. Iran has a judiciary system, and they are from the people, and then that's the three branch of government, and definitely it should be a democracy, but something big is missing there. Can you guess what is missing there?
Institutionally, the vote, the freedom of vote, I believe.
It's not the biggest one. It's the small part. It's
really
missing. Yeah, but it's another small part. But the biggest part is the thing you mentioned, the fourth state, and we have, but the fourth state is not. That's the part I'm not agree with you, because the fourth state is not Government Accountability Office or Inspector General, because Government Accountability Office is part of the Congress, is part of the Congress. Then GAO is part of the Congress, and IG is part of Judiciary branch. It's again on their website. You can go and check justice.gov. And then you will find that it's there directly, Inspector General is part of that. But the fourth state is something else. It's something which somebody else mentioned. It's all the help you just help me out to pass all these history. And then these are some founding fathers. They were really influenced by the Montesquieu and some scholars from Age of Enlightenment in France to just draft the United States Constitution, which was really, really good. And all these people, they had a lot of respect for the Montesquieu, and then they had some differences, but I don't think we will have time to go there. But the fourth state, for the first time, the Edmund Burke, he mentioned that. He was the parliament member, philosopher, and the parliament member of UK. And they were at the House of Commons, their parliament in UK. When they were at the session, they were talking. Then some journalists, they were speaking loudly, and from the balcony. And then he stopped his conversation, his talk, and looked at them and said, "You are the fourth state, and the most important than the other three branches of the government, because you are the eyes and the ears of the people on these three branches." Officially, we don't have fourth state. We have three branches of the government, but the fourth branch is free media. The only thing is missing in Middle East, and it's not guaranteed by their constitution. You can see everything is there, and the free media is not there. They have even the media in Russia, one of the freest country in that area, in the dictatorship area. They have RT, they have Russia Today TV, but Russia Today is run by Mr. Putin. And when Putin doesn't like someone, they is calling the head of the TV and saying, "Okay, just get rid of that guy or that guy. I don't like him," and it's gone. It's gone. And it's the state-run or state-owned media, but they are trying to just look. It's coming from some dictatorship.
Don't say anything.
He said Putin. The lights went out.
Problem solved. Conspiracy theory is gone.
Need some people with skin on.
then when we are looking at the constitutions of United States and Islamic Republic of Iran, as I mentioned, you can see we have the executive branch, okay, we have the legislative branch, okay, and we have the judiciary branch, okay, we have everything. We have free press and we have press. Press means press that they wanted to hear. But the problem is not still fixed because, okay, the United States Constitution protects we want to talk about the differences. The United States Constitution protects the people from the government, as I mentioned. But the Islamic Republic of Iran's Constitution protects Islamic Republic and the mullahs from the people. And also, the people wrote the Constitution in the United States. How do we know that? Because the start of the Constitution is what? We the people. That means maybe some people wrote that. What about the mullah's Constitution? The mullah, they wrote the Constitution. Do you know how do they wrote the Constitution? Their Constitution is coming from God. God spoke with them in the middle of the night. Everybody, they were asleep, entire nation, and then God told them, you should have this type of... And nobody can ask them why. Because if you are asking why, you will be Amir Fakhravar going to jail for years. That was the question I asked. I said, can we write our Constitution by ourselves? Like United States? And then, when I'm teaching at my class, it's a really nice website. It's called constituteproject.org. You can check that website. In that website, I was searching some words on the Constitution, like on the United States Constitution, like Christianity, like Jesus, like God. You cannot find these words in the Constitution. But when I was searching Islam in Islamic Republic's Constitution, 206 times Islam is there, and Islam is dismantling the entire Constitution whenever it's there. Why? Because they are saying the man and woman are equal. Good. Until then, it's good. But what's the end? But under Islamic law. This but there and Islamic law means in Islamic law, definitely man and woman, they are not equal. They are saying until then, that we are not going to the area of Islamic law, they are equal. We don't have any problem with that. And everywhere on all part of Islamic Republic's Constitution, you can see at the end, one single Islam is there and destroying the entire thing. And in the United States, based on the Montesquieu's book, you have 3 branches of government. They are checking and balancing on each other. And like what? I don't need to say that. Like when the president doesn't like something the Congress will pass, president will veto it. And when the Congress, they don't like some president's act, they can just have the hearing, they can impeach president. It's a lot of powers that they can balance each other to make sure none of these branches can have the ultimate power like Iran. But in Iran, we have all these 3 branches of government. The problem is not there. We have some extra branches. The problem is because of the extra branches. What? Like what? We have the parliament. The people are voting for the parliament. The thing you mentioned, that's correct. But the vote is not the exact vote. Why? Because the supreme leader, we have supreme leader in Iran. I showed you the one with the projector in his car, the God, and the supreme leader picking 6 people, 6 mullahs, and 6 lawyers. It's a group of 12 people. Let's see them. A group of 12 people. One of them is dead, and right now they are 11. Just yeah. And that's correct. The supreme leader is busy right now to pick another one to just make sure the guardian council. They are called guardian council. And then the guardian council, they are picked by the supreme leader. Think about it. And then guardian council, when you want to go to and be candidate for election for the parliament seat or for the presidency, who is checking you to see you are confirmed, or let's say you are valuable enough to be candidate for that election? Guardian council, who are picked by the supreme leader. They are checking everybody all the candidates without telling them why. They can just say, we don't like you. For every presidential election, we have more than 1,500 people as a candidate, and at the end, 4 to 8 of them are coming out because they are picked by these guardian councils. These 12 people, they are picking 86 people. These people, they are picked by those 12. And the only qualification they should have is to be loyal to Supreme Leader. Nothing else. What's the job of these 86 people? Called Assembly of Islamic Experts. They have just one job. To pick the Supreme Leader, but they are not picking anybody. Every year they have just one single meeting together, and every year you can see you are missing some of them. They are not there because they are in another life, next life. And then these people, they're supposed to pick Supreme Leader, but their job is just to do nothing. Just be there and be loyal to Supreme Leader. And then, because of these people, and because of specifically these 12 Guardian Council, we don't have any type of election in Iran. Everything is just show. When Mr. President in the United States is going to, and Secretary Kerry, they are going to say congratulations to Iranian people last year for picking the moderate president. I was laughing in front of TV. I said, do these presidents have any advisor to tell him this is not any election over there? This is selection by Supreme Leader? And you don't need to congratulate him at least because of picking some other mullah as a president of Iran? This is the structure of power in Islamic Republic, and that's the God. And God is exactly has the equal power to Supreme Leader, and then it's the Assembly of Experts, Islamic experts, and this is the Guardian Council. The blue line you can see is the way that the executive branch, legislative branch, and judiciary branch, they can be picked. You can see all is coming from Supreme Leader directly or indirectly. Those three over there, Revolutionary Guard, Basij, the militia of Supreme Leader, and the police, all are the force of Supreme Leader to make sure 0 minutes, okay, done. And then, where is the people? The people are here. Maybe you cannot see the people that much, but the most important part of the structure of power in Iran is the constitution, is at the closet. Why? They don't need constitution anymore because constitution gave them the power and they put it in the closet. They don't need constitution to look at it. Who can change the constitution? Do you know?
God.
Just the Supreme Leader, nobody else allowed to change the constitution in Iran. Why United States should care? Because when you have those mullahs in power, those mullahs, small group of fanatic mullahs, who just thinking about exporting their Islamic revolution to the world, killing Americans, Israelis, Jews, Europe, and destroying the modern democracy. This is the job of those fundamental Muslim in power in Iran, small group of them. And then you're supposed to deal with them or supposed to deal with 80 million Iranian people who are totally detached and separate from the government. They don't like the government. They don't know how to bring them down. And the only way, maybe one day our country can be free is to draft the new constitution to make sure that none of those crazy people will be in power anymore.
What happens if the Supreme Leader dies? Is that group then chooses a new Supreme Leader?
Oh, that group supposed to do that, but before he dying, he will pick someone and he will tell them, yeah, my son is there. If you want to look at someone, my son is there and you can pick him. Okay.
Government shutdown, right? Because none of the branches are in power.
It's exactly the balance of power. The government shutdown means one person cannot have the ultimate power to say, okay, if half of country don't like this law, I like it and I want to go with it. Then the next branch, the legislative branch, which are representative of the people too. The Congress is not coming from the Mars. It's coming from the people's vote.
It makes us equal.
Thank you so much, and thank you for giving me a little more than